most prestigious hotels to provide jewelry for their high-end wedding packages. It was the kind of deal that could significantly expand their business, but it required maintaining an impeccable reputation for professionalism and class. The hotel's wedding coordinator was someone I'd worked with extensively over the years. Jennifer Walsh, no relation to Sarah's husband despite the shared surname, was known for her discretion and high standards. She didn't tolerate drama or unprofessional behavior from any of her vendor partners, which made her the perfect person to casually mention Sarah's behavior too. I crafted a careful text message. Hey Jennifer, hope you're having a good weekend. Just wanted to give you a heads up that you might hear some chatter about today's Martinez-Williams wedding at Beverly Hills CC. The bride had a bit of a meltdown when she publicly kicked out the groom's sister, who had paid for most of the wedding. It got pretty ugly, especially for a family that's trying to position themselves as vendors for high-end weddings. Thought you'd want to be aware in case it comes up in your circles. Let's grab coffee this week. Jennifer's response was immediate. OMG what? Yes, definitely want to hear more. Coffee Tuesday. By Tuesday, the story of Sarah's behavior would be circulating among every major wedding venue coordinator in Los Angeles. In an industry built on relationships and reputation, that kind of gossip could be more damaging than any negative review. But I wasn't done. The third strike was the most personal, and it required me to use information I'd gathered during the months I'd spent planning their wedding. Sarah had confided in me about various family secrets and personal embarrassments, thinking she was building a relationship with her future sister-in-law. She told me about her father's previous bankruptcy, her mother's struggle with prescription drug addiction, her own eating disorder, and most devastatingly, her previous engagement to a man who'd left her for her younger cousin. I wasn't cruel enough to expose the truly personal information. That would have been crossing a line even I wouldn't cross. But the business information about her father's financial struggles was fair game, especially since Sarah had spent months bragging about her family's wealth and success, while secretly relying on my money to pay for her wedding. The fourth strike was already in motion. Earlier in the week, I'd received a call from David asking me to reach out to some of my high-profile clients to invite them to the wedding. Several A-list celebrities and prominent business leaders had agreed to attend as my guests, lending additional prestige to what Sarah thought was going to be her triumphant social debut as Mrs. David Martinez. Those same celebrities and business leaders had witnessed Sarah's behavior firsthand. More importantly, they'd seen how she treated someone who had clearly gone above and beyond to support her wedding. In a town where image was everything, Sarah had just demonstrated the kind of character that would make people think twice about associating with her socially or professionally. I spent Sunday morning fielding calls from some of those guests, all expressing shock and disappointment at what they'd witnessed. Many of them asked how they could support me, and I graciously declined their offers while making sure they understood exactly what had transpired. By Monday morning, the story would be circulating through the highest levels of LA society, told and retold by people whose opinions carried real weight. The final piece of my immediate strategy was the most satisfying. Sarah had been planning to post wedding photos on social media for weeks, creating elaborate Pinterest boards and Instagram themes around her perfect day. She'd hired not one, but two photographers specifically to capture content for her social media accounts, planning to milk her wedding day for months of content. But since I'd canceled the photography contracts, there would be no professional photos of the reception, no elegant shots of the cake cutting, no romantic images of the first dance, no perfectly curated content to feed her social media addiction. Instead, the only photos circulating from her wedding would be candid shots taken by guests on their phones, many of which captured her tearful breakdown as her perfect day fell apart around her. I knew Sarah well enough to know that this would torture her more than almost anything else. She lived for social media validation, and the thought of not having picture-perfect wedding content to post for the next 6 months would eat at her constantly. Monday morning brought the first wave of consequences. Victoria Chen's article went live on the Los Angeles Magazine website at 8 a.m. titled, "When Wedding Drama Goes Too Far, a Cautionary Tale About Family and Money in Beverly Hills." The piece was diplomatically written but devastating in its implications, painting Sarah as an ungrateful bride who had bitten the hand that fed her. By 9 a.m., my phone was ringing nonstop. David called 6 times before I finally answered. "Megan, what the hell did you do?" His voice was strained, exhausted. "There's an article about us online and Sarah's father is threatening to sue you for defamation." I told the truth. I replied calmly. "Everything in that article can be verified by witnesses who were at your wedding. If Sarah's father wants to sue me, he's welcome to try, but discovery would be very interesting for his business." "This has gone too far," David said. "You've made your point. Can't we just move past this?" "Move past what, David? The fact that your wife publicly humiliated me in front of 200 people? The fact that you stood there and said nothing while she told me I wasn't family? Or the fact that she did all of this after I'd spent $150